I'm Larissa Vale from Black Satellite, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
This is 70,000 Tons of Metal, the original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, one cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets. It's like having an all-access backstage pass. January 29th to February 2nd, 2026. From Miami, Florida to Nassau, the Bahamas, and back. Go to 70,000tons.com and book now.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well. Where are you located geographically?
New York.
Oh, okay. I grew up in Long Island
Oh, cool.
and worked in Manhattan for 7 million years at the Hit Factory and Soundtrack recording studios.
Oh, cool.
Back when there were recording studios.
I know so many have closed down. I don't even know how many are left.
I don't even know. And I know like some of the big, legendary ones are all gone. I don't even think Electric Lady's still up there.
I don't know. I mean, I don't track in New York, so.
Oh, you guys don't do any tracking in New York?
I mean, back in the day, but lately, no.
Okay. Well, we can just jump right in and start talking about the band then. Let's talk about the tour first, right? You got an upcoming real close. You're going out on the road with Mushroomhead, I see?
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to be out from October 10th until November 1st.
Oh, wow, that's a nice run. Do you do anything special to prepare, like for, being out on the road for a good amount of time like that?
Yeah, so every time we go out on the road, we do a rehearsal week. So we have like a little band house and we all crash out here with our band and crew and we just grind it out for a whole week and then the bus picks us up and we go.
Fair, that's good enough. Do you get tired of it after a while, or is 2 weeks a pretty good stretch, or do you get tired of living in the bus or the van or...
So this tour is like I think 3 weeks, which is actually a really short tour, relatively. I love long tours. The longest we've been out is like 13 weeks, but at least
Wow.
a good like 6, 7 weeks. I feel like that's a solid tour.
Hmm.
So this is a nice, short, sweet little run, but I love being out on the road. Like
Do
if
you
it were up
really?
to me, like I'd never come back. I love living on the bus. I love playing the shows. I love the adventure of waking up in a new city every day. And you get to have your own little routine. Like we cook on the bus and I have like a little air fryer and I'll I have a little egg griddle, like fry eggs. So, you get to like a little sense of normalcy. You just kind of have to figure out how to adapt your routine to life on the road. It doesn't mean you just like throw your life out the window.
So before we get into Aftermath and the rest of this interview, do you guys have like take turns cooking, or is every man for themselves or every woman for themselves?
It depends on how exhausting the tour is. Like there are a couple tours that, my bass player and I normally like take charge cooking. So we'll go food shopping, we'll like grab all the ingredients and, keep the receipt. And then we just we'll just divide it by whoever on the bus wants to partake in the group meal.
Right.
And there was this one tour we were like overly ambitious. So we bought a crock pot. We like had a crock pot with us. So we were like throwing a bunch of chicken breasts and like broth and sauce and stuff and then like cook some rice. We actually had a rice cooker too. But now it's just I don't know if it's just laziness, but it's just like a lot of work to like bring all this extra stuff on the bus and then at the end of the tour get it off. And then, if you're on a really exhausting tour, the last thing we want to do is like meal prep. And then on days off, we're just like zombies. So it really depends on the run, on the last tour, on the Manson run, there was catering every day. So that was really easy. We didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, this time I think it's going to be like a little bit in the middle. I'm going to bring my air fryer. I always have my egg cooker anyway. My whole band makes fun of me. They're like, really, you're frying eggs on the bus? I'm like, yeah, why not? Like, I like to eat eggs for breakfast, so that's my thing. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about Aftermath then. Aftermath dives into some very personal and dark themes. Was there a particular moment or experience that became the emotional anchor for the album as a whole?
I just think that there was just a lot that I wanted to write about. And it was like, I had this general idea and like a feeling for the concept, before we even really dove into the record. And then for me, writing the record was kind of a process of unraveling what Aftermath had meant to me. And through the process of that, I discovered that, I had this concept of aftermath, and what that meant was it's kind of, you have to be completely broken down to rebuild. And so it's like coming out of, hardship and tragedy and, just like when life kicks you in the ass. And it's not so much like being beaten down, but it's like, okay, it's what's done is done. What's happened has happened. Here we are, let's work our way out of the rubble. And how do we rebuild stronger and better and move forward,
How
like a
cathartic was
rebirth.
it for yourself?
Exactly.
Was it super cathartic for you as well?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime I write music, which is funny because, when I'm having a bad day is when I kind of gravitate towards writing music. So this is why there's not like a lot of happy, cheery songs out there. I don't know why, but when I'm feeling great, I'm not like, yeah, let me write a song about how awesome I feel. So it's all always very cathartic for me.
Do you ever feel like you've put too much of yourself into a song then, like you've been too vulnerable, or is that the point?
The only like real example where I felt like maybe I was a little bit vulnerable is for the song Void, but I feel like it was extremely necessary because that song is kind of like an exercise in exploring, if I'm allowing myself to really go into my deepest, darkest thoughts, almost out of curiosity to kind of see what's down there. And then I kind of ended up like getting like stuck in this weird mindset, after like really putting myself in that character to write this song. And I was like, oh, maybe I don't need to go that deep all the time. I guess it's not so different from like, I don't know, method actors or something. You just get like too into the role that you're playing. Because I did want to explore those kinds of parts of myself, but maybe sometimes you should just kind of leave them alone.
Right.
But no, I think that's what gives it this really personal, vulnerable quality to the songs and the songwriting, and specifically, it's because I'm not afraid to write about those darker, personal emotions, and I think that's what makes it so relatable. And I really think it's important to bring that sense of fearlessness, to artistry. It's pushing the boundaries. It's giving a voice to people who don't have the confidence to express themselves in that way, or maybe don't know how. But at the end of the day, I'm not unique. We all have these experiences. I'm just writing about it through art, And well, I guess at the end of the day, my whole goal as a musician is to just contribute to culture, Even if I don't do anything really amazing, it's like at least I left my little footprint on this earth. It left something behind that will outlive me and contribute to human progression just in the smallest, tiniest, most minuscule little way. You know, and I think
Beautiful.
that's
Yeah.
just how we move artistic culture forward, all the combination of everybody kind of doing that.
So then, what's it like playing those songs that you've dove deep to get to when you're writing them every night on the road for 13 weeks? I mean, because are you like ripping that scab open again for every song, or how do you approach that?
I think there's like a level of compartmentalization, and you just feel kind of removed from the experience. Because for me, when I'm writing songs and I get those words and thoughts and emotions out on the page or whatever, I feel like they're no longer like living inside of me. It's like now they're kind of externalized, and I get to look at it like as a third party, kind of objectively, as the artistic form that now it is. So yeah, it's kind of like you feel it in a different way. And like, can I put myself back into that mindset? Yeah. Is it really necessary to do that? No, not really. Um, we play every show like our life depends on it. And I don't feel like I need to bring myself to the point of tears to get that across on stage. So
Right. Fair enough. Let's see. You've Kill for You explores the blurry line between love and obsession. So when crafting lyrics like that, did you ever worry about how listeners might interpret or relate to such an intense message?
I mean, I love all the different interpretations, and I think that's also what's really great about, a concept kind of like that. it's less specific as, some other songs that I've written. And so people can kind of inject themselves into it. And it can mean, I mean, that's kind of goes, you can say that about, pretty much any song, honestly. People have their own attachments to it, and, it means something different to them. They'll hear a certain lyric and it'll elicit like a memory that they had or an experience, and like, this is my song. And so then, in some way it just becomes much larger than, yourself. Like, after I write a song, it's not necessarily like my song anymore. Everybody feels like it's their song, for a specific reason. And I think it's just such a beautiful thing. And that's kind of the one of the, most rewarding things about writing music as well. Now it's not just my experience, it's a shared experience, that we can all relate to.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility then to your fans to write that sort of message into your music, or do you just do it for you and hope they're along for the ride?
I feel like my responsibility to the fans is just being as vulnerable and authentic as I can be as myself, because that's what I've been doing. And I think that's the best that I can do, it's just continue to just be vulnerable in the way that I express myself through art.
Okay. So let me shift gears again because I'm all over the place here, I guess, today, but hope you don't mind. What was it like touring with Manson? Did you learn anything from that tour, or was there anything great stories? I don't need the dirty stories. I'm not looking for dirt at all. Just anything good? Surprising?
No, that tour was really incredible. I mean, all the nights were sold out. There were thousands of people every day. And it was really cool because from the first night, it was really evident, like, okay, this is like our fan base, and like all the goths come out and they're lining up in their fishnets. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm so ready for this. And then, we even had like people like lining up outside our bus. So I'd like leave the bus and they were like, oh, Larissa. And I'm like, what is going on right now? I haven't really experienced this before. I don't know. It was just like it was just an amazing experience. And I never get stage fright or anything like that. So the bigger, the better, when it comes to the crowd. And, I kind of did this thing where I wouldn't even like look to see how many people were out there. You could just hear them, and I just wanted it to be like a surprise every night. So like we'd our intro would start. It's our walk-on intro. And then we weren't even on stage yet. And I hear people screaming and I'm like, what is going on? And then, my drummer walks on first. The screams are just even louder. And then my bass player and guitar player get on stage. And now it's just like the crowd's roaring. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on? And then when I get out there and then you just see the sea of people and everyone's freaking out, it's just like, you kind of almost have like an out of body experience. Or like, oh my God, I'm so ready. This is going to be so much fun, I just can't wait to annihilate it.
Right. The energy's got to be incredible.
Yeah. But I didn't want to spoil that ahead of time. Like, I just want to go out there and have that moment of just looking at the crowd and being like, okay, this is it.
So can I ask you then, what would your reaction have been if that curtain opened or the lights went on and there was 3 people? Is a black satellite show a black satellite show, or how does that work? Not saying that happens, but...
We've played shows of all different kinds of sizes. I wouldn't say for 3 people, but like I said, it's not just another show for us. And for the people that show up, this could be a night that they always remember. So whether it's a small club or...
And they paid their money too.
Exactly. And it's like, do you really want to show up with like such an ego that like, what, you're like too cool to play in front of like 20 people, like... I feel like that anyone that you have the opportunity to like share your art with, or, like, why would you squander that opportunity? And at the end of the day, why do we do this? It's because I love music. I love writing music. I love playing shows. I love connecting with the fans. Why would I not do that for every kind of show?
Perfect. So I've got one out of the box question. I hope you don't mind here in a second, but Black Satellites, after the Mushroomhead tour, what do you guys got going on for the rest of the year, or is that all you have for now? More singles, anything coming up?
So yeah, that's our touring for the year. Obviously, there's lots of plans for next year. There's nothing I can announce right now, but
Sure.
You know me, I love to be on the road. I love to stay busy, and I think next year will be no exception.
Okay, and people want to find you at Black Satellites everywhere?
Yeah, Black Satellite, blacksatellite.com. It's at Black Satellite and all the socials. On the website, you will find all the ticket links and the links to our VIP upgrade for the upcoming tour, as well as our official merch store. And you can also pick up physical copies of our new record Aftermath on CD and vinyl, and you can also get those autographed as well. And you can also follow me personally at Larissa Vale Official. You know, DM me, ask me questions, and come meet me after the show.
Love it. So one out of the box question, and then I'll get out of your hair. The Kill for You video features you confronting a fear and letting a tarantula crawl across your face. If you could use any phobia as a metaphor in a future video, which would you pick and how would you visualize it?
I think, okay, so I have this theme where I like to conquer my fears in music videos. I've already been buried alive. I've like been abducted by aliens. I had the tarantula crawl across my face. I've been dead and brought back to life in the downfall video. You know, I have to really think about this one because I mean, all of like the obvious choices I've already done. I mean, I have a fear of heights, but I don't know. I have to think of a really cool way. If I'm gonna do that, you know, that sounds kind of boring. So I'd have to really think about that one. God, what else? I mean, I'm not necessarily afraid of drowning, so I don't think that would really help me out. I mean, I don't want to drown, but I'm not afraid of
Right.
deep water.
I think that would be one of my worst fears, drowning.
Okay, I don't like sharks.
Or
Like
some
that's
kind of confinement.
yeah, well, confinement. Yeah, so that's why I did the being buried alive thing because that's like the claustrophobia confinement kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to do that? And I had to do it like for real in the video. You know, we dug a shallow grave, covered me in dirt, and I was breathing through a straw, and then my director would like pound the ground so I could feel it, and then that meant action, and they pull the straw out. So I hold my breath for 20 seconds, completely buried, like dirt over my eyes, mouth, nose, and like all I can hear is my own heartbeat racing out of my chest. And then like it was like action, I slowly crawl out, or you know.
So
But
you
yeah,
knew they were there, but how terrifying was it even knowing that?
I mean, it wasn't that deep, so I had the knowledge that I could get out. Like it was not like I'd be trapped and suffocate and die, but I certainly did not like the experience. It was just really uncomfortable. I don't know, it makes you question your immortality in a way you kind of just don't want to. You don't really want to
I
go there.
no, no, I don't think I could do it. Like even
But
on
it
the
looks
beach, I
great.
don't think. Yeah,
It's for the art.
for the well, that's all I had. I don't hope that wasn't too bad. I know I kind of meandered a little bit, but I just like to
No, it was
talk. So.
great.
And I think this run, I think I was looking at the routing the other day. I don't think you're anywhere near me on this one. So I'm in Richmond, Virginia. I
Oh,
think the
okay.
closest is Leesburg, maybe.
Leesburg, yeah. I don't know how far
Yeah,
that is.
that's like 3 hours.
Hmm.
And it's on a work night, so I don't think I'll probably make that one. But hopefully I'll catch you around this way again. I know you've come through here before, right? You've played Richmond
Yeah.
before, haven't you?
Yeah, we've played Richmond before.
Like the Canal Club or the National?
I think yeah, we've played the Canal Club. That sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
yeah.
It's like
Awesome.
the smaller club with the stage that's like kind of lower, like in the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just saw Dark Angel there 2 nights ago. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
still there. It's still it still put in the acts. It's a strange, dumpy place, but it's kind of cool too.
Yeah, and they have like strange dumpy food there too.
Yes. But there's a good pizzeria right across the street. Anyway, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you. Love the music, and hopefully we'll see you somewhere soon.
Great. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Hey, cheers.
Bye.